Hey guys, it's Jay again. Today I've got something really interesting to show you. Let's dive in. In this video, I'm going to walk you through every single feature in Claude, from the basics all the way up to the more advanced techniques like creating automations that do the heavy lifting for you. Also, I'm going to show you how to build your AI operating system. This is going to turn Claude into your executive assistant. Now, I use Claude every single day. I'm talking researching, scripting, strategy, brainstorming, knocking out tasks that used to take me an hour in literally 5 minutes. It is the tool I have open more than anything else. And the reason for that is simple. Everything you need is already built in. You don't need to connect 30 different tools and watch 20 different tutorials before it's actually useful. You open it, you set it up right, and it just works. So this is the full Claude guide. Let's get right into it. All right, let's start from the very beginning. If you don't have a Claude account yet, this is going to take you about 2 minutes. If you already have one, skip ahead. I'll put timestamps in the description. But even if you have an account, I recommend you stick around for the plan breakdown because most people are on the wrong plan for what they're actually trying to do. All right, so here's the pricing. Now, the free plan is genuinely good. You get Claude Sonnet, web search, file uploads, artifacts. It's great for trying everything out before spending money. As you can see, you have all of the features right here. I'm currently at claude.com/pricing. You can find the pricing page there. I'll even leave a link in the description if you want to access that quickly. Now, the thing I recommend to every person wanting to actually get into AI and use it is to actually get some skin in the game. Like, start putting some money into this. I don't get anything for you doing this. I just remember when I went from free to the next plan up, the $17 or the $20 a month if billed monthly, this is when everything started to change, because this is like, okay, I'm invested now, like you need to kind of get invested to get the genuine benefits out of all of these plans. But really, don't overthink it. You can watch this video, start free. If you hit the limits within a week, upgrade, and that's signal that, okay, yeah, you've moved on. But what you can do is you can hit try Claude on any one of these, and if you're not signed in, it's going to take you to a sign up where you can sign up with, I believe, Apple or Google, and it's just like any other sign up process. But now you're in Claude and you've probably been here before. This is your prompt bar in the middle of the screen. This is where you type into the intelligent models. You have your model selector right here. So I'm usually on either Opus 4.6 or Sonnet 4.6. Sonnet is good for everyday tasks. Opus is 4 for, like, as you can see, ambitious work. They even have a voice model right here where you can use voice mode. I'll show that later. And a plus button where you can access a bunch of the features. Now, over on the left-hand side is where you can create a new chat. You can open up your sidebar to view all of your past conversations. You can kind of navigate around your Claude workspace. We're going to be going over a lot of this stuff today in this video. So when I open up my sidebar, what you're going to see is I have some projects here, which we're going to get into projects, and I have all of my chat threads. So I can click into one of these and view my past conversations that I've had with Claude, which is very cool. Now, before I show you any features, I need to show you one thing that determines whether Claude is useful to you or not. And that's how you talk to it. Now, most people, when they're talking to models, write something vague like, write me an email or give me a business plan, and they get something back generic. And then they start thinking like, that's just how AI works. That's what it does, but it's not. Claude is only as good as what you give it. The more context, the more specific you are about what you actually want, the better the output gets. And I mean dramatically better. So instead of talking about it, let me actually show you. All right, so here's an example of what a bad prompt might look like. And this is how a lot of people start. They go in here and they ask it a question like 99% of people. But I always say if you talk to AI like 99% of people talk to AI, doing things like what I'm showing you right now, you're going to get results like 99% of people. And 99% of people aren't where you want to be. So don't talk to it like everyone else. Everyone's asking basic, generic, canned questions like this, things that you used to type into Google. So I'm going to show you a side-by-side example of what a bad prompt looks like with a good prompt and how you should actually be communicating with AI right now. So I've got a framework for this, and it's going to help you wrap your mind around how should you be talking to AI, how should you be asking questions, but I need to show you the bad prompt first in order for you to see how good the good result actually is. So I'm typing this in. How do I go viral on social media? I'm going to actually use incognito So it doesn't pick up any of my past chats. It doesn't pick up any of my memory, anything it knows about me, just so we can have a plain prompt, raw Claude. How can I go viral on social media? I'm going to send that off. And then it gives me some generic advice. You know, it's fine, it's usable, but I would spend 20 minutes just trying to get this to actually go into my workflow. And to be honest, this is canned generic advice you could find anywhere. So it says going viral isn't a guaranteed science. Create content that people want to share, like evoke strong emotions, tell a story, be relatable. It's talking about certain formats like short form, Reels, TikTok shorts, captions matter, post consistently, play the algorithm game, ride trends, collaborate. Very basic things that honestly, now I've got to take this and I've got to shape it into my own world, when I could have shaped the model into my world so that I didn't have to do that myself. So let me show you what a better prompt would look like using my flagship format. So here I've got the same idea, right? We asked Claude, how can I go viral on social media? Great, right? But if you want to get the most out of Claude, you got to give it some more. So what I like using is the goal, context, action, output format framework, otherwise known as GCAO. This is so much better, and this is how you should be talking to Claude. For example, instead of I want to go viral on social media, give it information about your situation. I want to attract small business owners who are already making money but feel overwhelmed running everything by themselves. I'm not trying to get famous. I want the right people finding me and reaching out about working together. Then I give context. I run a coaching business doing about 15K a month. I post on Instagram and LinkedIn. See, I'm giving it platform-specific things now, but I get generic engagements, and now I'm bringing up a problem. Likes from people who will never buy. I've tried posting tips and motivational content. It hasn't translated to clients. I have about 45 minutes a day to spend on this. So I'm giving it a lot of context into what I've tried, what I've got, and then I give it a clear action. Identify the specific type of content that attracts buyers rather than followers for a service-based business, and explain why that content works differently than the content designed for reach. And then I give it a specific output format. I want everything above in, which is the O in GCAO. So I say, give me 3 content angles with 1-sentence explanation of why each one attracts buyers specifically. No generic advice about consistency or hashtags. So as you can see, this is a much better way of talking to Claude than this. This is so basic, and you might as well not even use AI. Give it a goal, give it a good context, give it an action, give it an output format when you're prompting, when you want to solve a problem, or when you want to brainstorm something. So I'm going to send this off using the exact same model in incognito mode, so it doesn't know anything about me. And now it's going to give me actual angles that I can hit using my specific platform. So as you can see, I asked, give me 3 content angles. So it's going to give me 3 different pieces of content I can create with why it works and why it attracts buyers in my niche specifically. And then it really goes down into, drills down into these 3 things. So I turned down a client stories or any decision that cost me something. That would be like a social media post I would create. You know, we don't have to go into the answers, but as you can see, it's in my specific output format. It's very specific to my problem because I just took more time and I actually put effort into my prompt, which is going to make the AI begin working for me. Now, honestly, most people stop there, but I highly encourage iteration. Keep talking to the model until you get what you want. So I could say, give me 6 more variations of number 2. I can send that off. Maybe I like content angle number 2. And now it's going to give me 6 variations of before and after operational specifics from client work. And these are the types of iteration questions or statements you want to really drill into. There have been times where I've sat here and had a conversation with Claude for literally 7 to 8 hours straight until I got the answer that I was satisfied with. So don't be scared. Like, ask it anything, no matter how dumb the question is, until you figure out what you want. Okay, so now you know how to actually talk to Claude, but most people think that that's all it does. They use it like Google, where you go in and you type something and it types something back, you get your answer and you leave. But here's the thing, Claude can actually see things, number 1, and search the internet in real time. These 2 features alone turn it from a little bit of like a glorified Google search into a full research and analysis tool. And I am using web search constantly. I pull in documentation for any tool that my team is using. I'm researching current events. I'm looking up competitors, anything at all where I need information that is accurate and up to date at this very moment. That's what I'm using web search for. Okay, so let's just start off with the web search feature. This one is more powerful than people think because it's like you have a really smart assistant friend that you can go give tasks to do on the internet. You can give it these huge prompts, tell it to research, do information on a specific company, a specific person, a specific tool, a competitor, whatever you want. You can have it do actions for you, like create blog posts or do whatever, and it's all powered with web search. So in order to turn on web search, what you need to do, and by the way, you need to have this on all the time so you can get relevant, up-to-date, non-hallucinated information, but what you need to do is you need to hit this plus button and you need to just click where it says web search. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to click web search and now it's blue and it's activated. And so in this prompt, yes, I'm using my same prompt framework and I'm building off of that because I'm serious about prompting, like garbage in, garbage out. Good quality in, good quality out. So this next feature is called artifacts, and this is the one that blows people's minds the first time they see it. I know it did for me. You can ask Claude to create something substantial, something like a tool, a calculator, a dashboard, a form, an interactive document, and it won't just give you text. What it does is it opens up an entirely new panel and builds you a fully working thing right there in the conversation without any code or technical knowledge. You just describe exactly what you need, Claude builds it, and then you can publish it. Share your links to your clients, your team, and literally anyone on the internet can use it. So essentially what you can do is build custom tools in 5 minutes that would have taken a developer days. So let me show you that in action. All right, let's get into it. One of my favorite features in Claude, the artifacts. Now, you can go to your left-hand sidebar. If you want to open it up, you can even do that there. But what you're going to notice is there's an artifacts button. And when you click artifacts, you get some templates. You can create a new artifact up here on the right-hand side. You can see all of the things that it has to offer. So you can transform raw notes into structured notes. You can edit writing. You can go PRD to prototype, Slack project insights, flashcards. And so you can look through these. They're fun to look through. You can play around with them. But to be honest, I don't really like looking for something to build. I like it when I have an idea. I love knowing I can just come and throw it in Claude for an MVP and get something built in a matter of seconds. So I could do an animation, I could do an app, a website, whatever I want. If I visually want to see something, I'm coming to Claude and building an artifact for it. And so if you're not using this yet, I highly recommend you get in here and start building out these mini apps, mini projects that are going to help you be more productive. All right, now everything I've shown you this far, the prompting, the search, the vision, the artifacts, all of that works in just a blank conversation with zero setup. That's just native Claude features, and it's already super powerful. But what I'm about to show you next is where Claude goes from a good tool to something that actually works for you specifically. Now, Claude has a place where you can give it permanent instructions. These are rules that it follows every single time you talk to it or start a new conversation.